you might call and say, okay, I am on my way home, I'm going to pick up KFC for myself and the children. Would you like me to get KFC for you as well? And you said, but no, I'm okay. But the minute you got home, this person said, but couldn't you get some from me? How come you're so selfish? You got for yourself and the children, you didn't remember to get any from me. That is gaslighting.
Welcome to the Oasis, a safe space, Holy Spirit-led intervention for healing and empowerment.
Welcome back to our session on guard yourself against abuse. I know the last session was so searching and reflective. You had time to think about it. You had time to revisit the whole matter of abuse. You even looked at the definition. And for the purpose of this session, we're going to do a quick recap. We looked at, for example, the meaning of abuse, and we said it is any pattern which an individual uses to cause you to fear or intimidation or violence in an attempt to control you. We looked at the whole matter that 1 in 4 women suffer from abuse. We also look at the whole matter that abuse is not your fault, and nobody can ever tell you that you caused the abuse. So we looked at all of those the last session. Today, we're going to look at the different types of abuse. I know I mentioned them at the last session, but today we're going to delve in a little deeper into different types of abuse. Come on, let's go. So, for example, I'm going to reiterate the different types of abuse. Number 1, physical abuse. Number 2, emotional or psychological abuse. 3, sexual abuse. 4, spiritual abuse, or some of us call it religion abuse. And number 5, digital abuse. 6, financial abuse. And number 7, stalking abuse. So come with me as we go into these different types of abuse. 1, we're going to look at the types, the symptoms, the signs you should look for. So let us talk about them. We're going to start with number 1, which is physical. Physical abuse, I think we probably have a good idea. It's violence. Somebody who hits you and pull your hair, kick you, cause some kind of physical strain. The person also prevents you from eating, sleeping, or resting, or causing any form, threatening you to have some physical harm. Those are the signs of physical abuse. So anything that is physical in an attempt to control you, hurt you, or to cause you to feel like you're in a place where you're under control and the person is kicking you, you are in a physical abusive situation. So we're going to now talk about the other one, which is emotional, number 2. Emotional. And interestingly, emotional is probably we would consider to be one of the major types of abuse, because sometimes persons speak down to us, they belittle us, and we don't even realize it is abuse. We think that, oh, it is just a matter of the person is angry. But remember, no form of abuse it can be explained in terms of a justification, or you should be held responsible for it. It is not your fault, it is abuser's fault. So let us talk about emotional abuse. Name calling. They calling you all kinds of names, except your correct name. And these are belittling names. The person make you feel humiliated. Among your friends, your families, even at home. They're speaking down to you in a manner that makes you feel humiliated. That is one reason to think that you're in an abusive situation. Yelling and screaming. Yelling causing you to shout at you and as I said, making you feel as if you are nobody. That is abuse. We're going to look at gaslighting. Gaslighting is an interesting one because many times we don't even realize that somebody is abusing us emotionally by gaslighting us. what we call a gaslighting. A gaslighting situation is when, for example, somebody might say to you, you might call and say, okay, I am on my way home, I'm going to pick up KFC for myself and the children. Would you like me to get KFC for you as well? And you said, but no, I'm okay. But the minute you got home, this person said, but couldn't you get some for me? How come you're so selfish? You got for yourself and the children, you didn't remember to get any from me. That is gaslighting. What is happening, actually happening? The person is making you think that you didn't ask them, or that you're basically going out of your mind. You start to question your own mind, your mental ability. You start to question yourself. Did I actually hear him correctly? Did I actually, that is exactly what he said? So you start to question yourself, and it begins to impact on your mental health. So gaslighting, look out for gaslighting. It's one of the common ways of causing emotional abuse. You blame the partner for abusive behaviors. For example, they are being the abuser, but they're blaming you, thinking they said, oh, you're the one who caused me to be hungry. You're the one who caused me to be upset. You're the one who caused me to hit you. You're the one who caused me not to do this. They're blaming you for their behavior. And also, the person is threatening you that if you don't conform to their pattern of behavior, they're going to commit suicide. So they play on your mental health. They begin to break you down because you want to take responsibility for their behavior. If this person commits suicide, I can't live with myself. Not realizing that this person is actually using these signs, these strategies to make you feel, to abuse you and to put you in a place of control. Because naturally, in this case, you're going to back off. You're going to say, okay, go ahead and do what you want to do because I don't want you to commit suicide. When a person isolates you from your families and your friends, think about if there's a situation where you want to go visit your families and your friends, and this person said no. Or if you go, before you get there, they're asking, where are you? When you got there, what time you got there? What time you leaving? That's control, taking you away from your families and your friends. Some parents say you can't go to see your family unless I'm coming with you. That's isolating you from families and friends. Another way of emotional abuse is controlling what you wear. Can you imagine they're going to tell you where to wear, when to wear it, and where to go, and what to do. Some persons, your hair, they have to decide on your hair, how your hair ought to be done, your dress code. That's control. You have no space or any mind to think for yourself. So those are some of the signs of emotional abuse. Number 3, sexual abuse. And sexual abuse, I know this is a topical matter because the persons talk about should it be, should it not be. But let us look at specifically what it is. It is unwanted sexual contact. If you have no interest, you don't want to have sex, and somebody insists and forces you, that is sexual abuse. If somebody, in some cases, forced pregnancy, because the person uses the pregnancy, the more children you have, is the more they're able to control you. So they force you to have children, even you don't plan to have a child. Or you plan to have one child, they say, okay, we're going to have 4, 5, 6 children. And they would force you not to even use contraceptives. These are controlling methods. That is what we call sexual abuse. Taking controlling what you do and how you do it. Forcing a partner to terminate pregnancy. So you might be pregnant and the person said, no, I don't want to have a child. You go and you said, okay, I want to. And they said, no. If you're going to have this child, then basically you're out of my space, you're out of my life. Naturally, you might decide to choose that person, so you're forced to terminate your pregnancy. These are all sexual abuse. And it's also threatening or coercing your partner to do sexual activities that are not in your own thinking or that you are comfortable with. These are sexual abuse. So we look at that, and I want us to think about our environment as we look at the physical, emotional, and sexual. We're now going to look at spiritual or religion. And in some cases where we speak about religion, it's a common thing, especially if the person might say, oh no, you can't go to church. They speak evil of your own relationship with God and your relationship in your church. And they said you cannot participate in church. You have to get your permission to go to church. You have to use this kind of thing. It is only a matter that they say, listen, you cannot be part of a church. You have to be this. I'm the first person. I am the middle, and I'm the last. There's no relationship where your church is concerned. So they take over that kind of control. You cannot participate. You cannot attend church activities without his or her permission. They will sometimes use scriptures to control you. And one of the common ones, some of us probably as women might know, we can relate to, is a matter of the submission one. So they use that submission in an attempt to control you. So, for example, we look at the religion one, and you might decide that one. It also says to steal your money or your possessions. If you have something or resources, he will go tapping in your personal account because this is a matter of control. And finally, we want to look at stalking. Stalking is most times in the case as a pattern of monitoring, following, harassing somebody, causing them to fear for their safety. And I want to speak quickly on this because sometimes we mistaken stalking for care or concern. So, for example, you might have somebody and you went out with your friends, and before you get there, the person will call you. Where you know? And the minute you got there, they check, okay, you got there, what time you got there, what time you're leaving, and the next 15 minutes your phone rang, and that is the same person again on the phone. So tell me something, how is it going? How are the meetings going? And you are basically finding yourself going through this kind of monitoring and control. So stalking is something that we will be picking up a little more on this at the next session. But I want to quickly recap the 7 types of abuse. And we look at physical, emotional, spiritual. We also look at digital, financial, and as well as stalking. I wanted to really encourage you to go through these in detail. And I guarantee you, you will guard yourself against abuse. Why don't you join me at the next session where we look at a little more of the effect of these abuse on you and how we're going to deal with them. Looking forward to seeing you. Have a good day. Bless you.